This is Tales from the Crawl Space. Holy shit episode. Just stop the recording. Just stop.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Yes, welcome once again to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. And what are we talking about, Jack? We are talking about holy shit.
Holy shit.
Shit. That is the fucking worst infestations that you've ever encountered. And we're going to talk about it right here on the show tonight. Oh my God, Jack! Over there up on the mountain is the mountain man himself, Jack Starry. Jack, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well, my friend. How about yourself?
I'm hanging in there, my man.
I am perking, working, having a ball. I'm ready for this show, man. We got fucking swamped. We asked for it on last show. We did. Uh-huh. We asked for, what the fuck's wrong with you, bunch of perverts, and they answered. We got a fuck ton of stuff.
Yeah, it was like a fucking avalanche. It was the worst infestation of contributions we've ever had. The worst infestation. So it all worked out. But
hell yeah.
If you're watching the video version, you may notice that I have a little bit of swelling over here on this area here. I've been fucking with it. I've been fucking with an abscess tooth all goddamn week. And let me tell you, I go to the dentist. He gives me some antibiotics. He said I can't do anything with it until the infection's gone. So I've been riding the snake all fucking week, Jack.
That's fucking miserable, dude. And, miserable.
Yeah, right now, we're gonna get through the show because I'm peaking on my ibuprofen Tylenol mix, and so I'm gonna get through it, but it's gonna be fun. So,
dude, it's like when you bend over just to tie your shoes, you feel like your head's gonna fucking split in half. Oh, the fucking blood pressure, and oh my God, I know exactly how you feel, man, and that's miserable as shit. And I'm sorry.
See, Wednesday night, I was up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and when I'm standing up, it doesn't hurt as bad. When I'm standing up, if I'm erect, in an erect position. I would, it's not as bad as when I'm laying down. So it's like 2 a.m. I got my Crocs on. I'm out in the backyard. I'm wandering through the garden in total darkness, just chilling with the katydids, and the garden just takes on a whole new dimension when it's dark and you're running into orb weaver spider webs to your face, and it was really fun, but. And everybody, thank you very much. I did post something on Facebook about it on Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, and I got a bunch of people with some homespun remedies and things like that to help the pain out a little bit. I tried a lot of them. My spice drawer only holds so much. So, the oregano oil, the peppermint oil, the stuff like that. Thank you very much. Not a damn bit of those things worked. But that's because it's an abscess. If it was a broken tooth or a cavity or something like that, I'm pretty sure it would do great because you could get access to it. But that abscess is like right underneath the root. You can't get anything to that.
That's
shit.
Miserable. That's miserable as shit.
The only thing that really worked for me is, and this is going to sound weird, and I think is core water. That comes in the big bottles. The big things
with the blue caps.
Yeah, core hydration water or something like that. It must be the minerals that are in it or something, but I would take a mouthful and swish on that, and it would just kind of soothe it a bit. It was, because everybody talks about warm salt water and things like that, but this stuff has like potassium and some sodium in it and shit like that, and it helped a little bit.
I think it's the dinosaur penis residue, because every drop of water that you put in your body has passed through the urethra of a dinosaur at some point in time.
I sure hope it has.
It's dinosaur dong.
Dinosaur dong.
Yeah. Man. Someone's listening right now going, dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Y'all are some sick fucks. I'm turning this shit off. Y'all are some sick fucks.
That's what it takes. Sorry to see you go, but don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you.
That's right. Amen, buddy. Amen. Oh my gosh. So, okay, we've got, as Jack had mentioned, we have got fuck tonnage of stories. I'm going to keep all mine anonymous this week. and because nobody really gave me permission to own it or anything. So, and I did have a couple of people say, "Don't mention my name." So I'm sorry. You know, when you hear your story, you'll know you know whose story it is. So, well, I'm just going to leave it at that. So Jack, I got one guy to cut that, a very faithful cheese bag. He goes, so this happened a few years back. We got a call from another company in our town stating that while he was at summer camp, being a counselor / chaperone for troubled youth, ages 10 to 16, these 4 kids had bugs coming out of their bags, and they were very noticeable. Long story short, the state ended up pulling the 4 kids from their mother's care until the bug issue got resolved. So because he was a friend, I know, and trusted us to take care of this family in need. That's tough. That's a tough one. We went to the house to do the initial inspection and see exactly what we were working with, and gave the social worker a rough estimate on how long it might take to get it under control. We pull up and we see this single wide trailer with a couple of boarded up windows, and we step inside the house, and the walls in this trailer moved and shifted. Not 1 or 2 walls, but almost every wall in the place.
Jesus. Wow.
We found bed bugs and German roaches coming out of every outlet. It took us 2 months to get it to where the kids were able to come home. We used the Actisol machine and changed up chemicals on a weekly basis until we have clean monitors. Holy shit.
Holy shit, man. It's especially a holy shit when the fucking kids suffer as a result.
You're not kidding.
Misplaced from their homes, having to live in that type of filth, man. Yeah. Straighten your fucking shit out, man. Holy shit.
I mean, come on. Do something. It's, oh my gosh. I mean, that reminds me of a place we did up in Westfield several years ago when I was at the Scarlet Letter. I mean, it took 4 of us. It was just a single wide trailer. It took 4 of us 3 trips out there to get it to the point where we could actually see the walls, dude. I mean,
oh Christ!
We had Scarlet Letter got out of using Actisol machines a while back, so they sent me, and I was like, I was talking to Chuck, and I said, man, he mentioned that there were 3 Actisols up in the home office in their garage. I said, bring them down. Let me see if I can at least cobble one together. And I was able to make a Franken Actisol, and got it kind of working. And we took that sucker in there, and oh, Jack, I couldn't believe it. It's like the walls. It's like as I was flushing the cockroaches out, the walls just kind of went like, wow. they were like the roaches were just like bowing the walls out.
Oh my god!
Came out, and they were just, I'm serious, and it was just folded over the, up around the molding and shit up top. There's just like folding, like waving over.
God.
I'm just kind of sitting there with the Actisol machine. Still, I got the trigger pulled. I don't have it in a tip or anything. I'm just sitting there holding it, and it's just blasting out in the midair, and my mouth is open. And then I felt one on my face, and I immediately closed my mouth. I was like, "Oh, sorry, no entrada, senor." And oh my god! And then we get it close to the kitchen, and they've got that that half wall that comes out. You know how trailers do. I don't know. I guess it makes it look fancy. But right. They've got that half wall there, and it was all bowed out with roaches too. And I was just like, oh wow. My god! It's like there's a gap in the top. We put it on the top, down at the baseboard, down at the floor level. They're just like, and I was like, okay, these people have kids here.
That's the worst, man. That's the worst.
Yeah, and that's when it becomes a mission.
Yeah.
We can laugh and joke and break balls all day long, but when you see it, when you got a place like that, it becomes a total mission. And
yep.
So mission of mercy. It's like, fuck the grown-ups that are living there. It's the kids that we're dealing with.
Yep. Yeah, the kids that you're doing it for, man. I caught myself there. I almost used my little crutch. I almost used it. I had a house in Deal, Maryland, and I've told this story before. Obviously, I've said I'm a broken record because I'm not doing new shit, but I love this fucking story. It was a really old guy, and I'm assuming it was his grandson because this guy was significantly younger than this really old dude in this little tiny shack right on the water in Deal, Maryland, right on the Chesapeake Bay.
Right.
Had roaches so bad they were eating the bait as fast as I could put it out. And I mean, I'd put it out and keep working down the wall because where the crown molding was.
Mhm.
They were sticking out of the crown mold, and you see little antennas and shit out of the crown mold. And I put it up there. I'd come back around. It was all gone. They were tearing it up.
Yeah.
I brushed against a 1978 calendar hanging on the wall, and roaches came out from all the months that were hanging down on the calendar, just fanned out from everywhere. I mean, everywhere you look, there were eutheca, fecal marks, baby roaches, adults all over the place. And I hear this guy yelling from the old man standing in the kitchen. I hear this young guy yell, "Did you make me my goddamn burger yet?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, there's someone else here." And the old man's like, "I'll get it made. I'll get it made." So I went down. I was checking the rest of the house. The bathroom was just as bad. And I started, pushing doors open. And there's this young guy, shaved head, laying on this bed with a shotgun next to one nightstand and a pistol on the other nightstand. Fucking picture of Adolf Hitler behind the bed.
Oh, fuck's sake.
And the fucking angel of death, Joseph Mengele, on the opposite wall where the foot of the bed would be. And on the ceiling was a swastika. I'm thinking, what the fuck, man? And the guy I was working with, Tommy Termite, Tommy walks in, looks up, looks at it, goes, "Hey, I like your Adolf Hitler picture." And then he starts screaming for his hamburger. And me and Tommy both looked at him and were like, "Dude, make your own fucking hamburger." I went through an entire box of Max Force FC. That's what they gave us to use. And Tommy went through an entire box of Max Force FC in that house on that one time. And by the time we left, there wasn't a fucking speck of bait left sitting around.
Incredible. Good God. And that's all you did was bake this place. Fucking roaches.
Yeah. And that's my second worst roach story. Second worst.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell the first one later on, but yeah, that's my second worst.
I can't wait. I cannot.
Yeah,
wait.
baby.
Yeah, baby. Oh man.
I tell you, God damn it, I said it. I mean, that's my fucking verbal crunch, and I hate it.
Okay, Jack, stop. Okay, first off, how dare you try to practice self-improvement on this show? You just go right ahead and you say those words. You use that verbal crutch. That's what we're here for, Jack. I'm your enabler. So fucking go for it.
Well, I'll tell you something.
Thank you.
And I got express permission to say the name on this one. Actually, I was encouraged to use his name. Mr. Rodney Brum, our great friend from Nova Scotia.
Oh, the legend.
Yes, our favorite professional wrestler sent me a great story. He goes, "So there's this shithole restaurant in a little town close by where I live. Owner stops me in the parking lot of the liquor store, frantic. 'We have rats. I can't have them there. One ran by a customer's foot while they were eating. You got to help me.' Okay, cool. I'll come have a look." Dude says, "I've never seen a rat in here before." Well, let me tell you. Rat shit everywhere in this kitchen, pantry, basement, attic, like fresh, simply glistening rat shit everywhere.
Shimmering.
Pantry was raided. It was just filth everywhere at this place. I look at him and say, "This is going to cost you, man. I'll have to do a blitz." I set up 3 boxes of my favorite Victor Snap traps and a bunch of outside stations, stomped 2 juvenile rats on the way out by his front porch. The suckers were eating so good they didn't even want to run. Must have thought I was going to feed them, and feed them I did. The tunnels around this place were clearly active for a very, very long time. So I go back 3 days later to do a check-in. First in the basement. I had double kills and a few traps. There was one eating another when I crawled in. Beat that one to death, UFC hammer fist style. That's 8 in total so far. So I'm already happy at this point. Then I walk in the kitchen. Place is trashed again from rats. Half-eaten pasta, artisan bread chunks everywhere. But fuck yeah, dude, I had 5 more. I was at this point, the bloodlust had started to excite me. Attic time, baby. 7 more dirty bastards dead to rights. But I knew this wasn't the end. Oh no, this wasn't the end. I clean up, reset, and back after the weekend. 10 more that time. Felt like a superhero. Moral of the story, keep your damn restaurant clean and don't lie to your pest technician. And I'll also never eat there. Dude even stiffed the bill. Dude even stiffed the bill at the end. Good thing I was working for big box at the time.
Yeah. That cork soaker.
The Korkstoker. Yes.
Fargen Korkstoker.
Fargen Korkstokers.
My family has been corkstoker. My father was a corkstoker. My grandfather, he too was a corkstoker.
I like to soak more than one cork at a time.
Rodney. Thank you. That story was beautiful. It was intriguing. I was on the edge of my seat.
We love you, Rodney.
Unfortunately, I was not taking a shit when I heard it. So
that's very
to be on the edge of one's seat in that situation, no, it's not a good thing.
That turns the front of the bone to a slip and slide.
Oh, it does. It turns it into Sometimes it sneaks in between the seat and the rim.
I'm just in a silly fucking mood tonight, man. I don't know why, but
God, I'm glad for you. It's like, yeah, I can't wait till I can't wait. I love the show, but I can't wait till it's over so I can hit the Norco. All right.
Man, yeah. And I have to hydrate some more. I'm desiccated right now, so I need to hydrate some more.
Okay. Yes. Replace those fluids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Some tasty wasp freeze.
Delicious. You're gonna feel. Do you feel the tingle in your throat?
I do. It's right there. Right here.
Outstanding.
Oh wait! I gotta move it out of the way. Had to move the beard out of the way. See, I have a neck, people. It's right there. I actually have one.
Yeah.
Nobody's seen it before.
My beautiful bride, Ellen, and I were talking earlier today. She goes, I wonder what Jack looks like without his beard. I said, have you ever seen an owl without feathers?
Yeah, that's about it. I have one where I only could have a mustache. I'll send that to you. I have a Superman butt chin. I have a divot right here, and I fucking hate it.
Oh, so
I've always had at least a goatee, but I've been rocking the beard for a couple of years now. But yeah, I got a divot right here. You can fucking park a quarter in. I hate it.
Oh, wow. I've had a mustache ever since I've been able to actually grow one. And I have this mole right here. It's one of those that like sticks out proud. And I raked a razor across that one time. I bled for days, man. And it was just like dripping down on my lips and stuff. Now, granted, that was back when I was serving the Lord's chicken to the unwashed masses. And yeah, they didn't like seeing that when they come up to the counter. It's like, I'll have the number one meal, and can I have nuggets? You're bleeding. I'm gonna go over here to Sakura, Japan.
Then you're like, hi, Buck melanoma, Molly Russell's wart.
Yeah.
Fucking love that movie. Uncle Buck.
All right. Okay, we got another one from a cheese bag. For a time, I serviced luxury apartments. We're talking $3,000 for a studio across from a mall in the city. Rich, entitled people that believe paying $3,000 a month means there shouldn't be bugs. One day, the property manager comes to me and asks if I can inspect a unit. She was nervous, pale in the face, and urged me to bring my respirator. The hoard has been cleaned out, but nothing will prepare you for what's in there. I'm a sick fuck, like all y'all, because y'all are some sick fucks. Morbid curiosity is my middle name. Now, I'm excited. How bad could it be? Well, she was right. I set foot in there and it smelled like German roach shit, a stale litter box, cigarettes, and used condoms.
Oh.
Yeah, the crust on the floor crackled under my boots. Oh no, it gets worse. Every single fucking surface is covered in German roach shit. All the things, everything. The door handles. I can see the outline of the hoard on the ceiling, kind of like the shadows left behind after atomic bombs are set off.
Oh,
wow.
That's not near as good as Mauschwitz, but yeah.
Oh, Mauschwitz. Oh my God. Oh, Mauschwitz. I played that section to William the Merciful, and yeah, I thought I was going to need to call an ambulance. Of all the people to say Mauschwitz to, a daughter of Abraham.
Oh, fuck! I'm crying.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, stepsister of Ishmael. Oh my God, it's horrible. There was no shalom in that home after I
No
got
shit.
taken out. Oh man,
You should have said, "Ma'am, this place is filthy."
they go filthy. Yeah, maybe you grab a broom and a mop. What could it hurt? Okay. Anyway, let's get back to the story.
Okay.
Atomic bombs are set off all over the washer and dryer. Okay. To recap, they've gone in there to this department. There's roach shit everywhere. Okay. This is before Jack started having his seizure. All over the washer and dryer, all over the fridge, all over the inside of the cabinets. The toilet was fucking disgusting. Now, see, I would now if I would have walked in there and all that stuff was going on, and I walked into a glistening, pristine toilet, I would be asking questions.
Hey, the tiny bowl man does his job, whether
Right.
everybody else does or not.
And you look in the tank. There's that little dude in the boat, but he's got a respirator and goggles on and shit. And he's just like looks up. He's like, "Kill me."
It's like they're fucking nasty.
God, just kill me. And it says it's on the mirror too. She goes, a few things rattle me in this job, but holy shit, Brad, this was so fucking bad. And my best friend happened to know another property manager that saw the horde, and she told him the complex charged the tenant $100,000. Not shitting you. And but she goes, or they go, I'll see if I can find the video for you. I did see the video. And the video did not do it justice. And but yeah, this was horrifying, Jack. This is absolutely horrifying. I mean,
wow.
For her to have to tread on all that stuff, I don't know, man. Ugh.
It's like walking out of the movie theater after someone spills their popcorn. Just
that's just it. And you go to a movie theater, you're walking on out there where somebody's dropped their popcorn for the past 30 years.
Right.
Yeah. So you wonder if you're actually the shoe is act. That's why I always wear tight laced boots whenever I go to the movie theater, because I know one of these days if I go in there wearing slips or slides, man, it's just gonna be like I have to go back there and get it. It's like God forbid if you trip and fall, because then you're like stuck on the floor.
It's like going barefoot to a peep show.
You just wait for a gigantic exterminator guy to come by and pick you up, because it's not really a theater; it's a giant glue board in another dimension.
Yes, it is.
Sometimes we are the exterminators, and sometimes we are the exterminatees.
That's true. Just ask. I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna start laughing again. So I can't.
Don't.
Okay. I got one. Speaking of mice, though, I got one from a new frequent contributor, Tyler McIlvain. He goes, I work for a solar and geothermal field operation. Now we do all the pest needs, but my favorite is the rodent control, where you drive out miles from the plant to take care of these wellhead shacks. They are on an Indian reservation, and as such, we're not allowed to use normal baits, which leads to tin cats. Left in the 100 degrees Fahrenheit plus sheds. You open one of these boxes and it will normally contain about 30 to 40 mice. Well, what's left of them anyways. The initial open of that box is like Satan shoving your head up his ass to get a taste of what hell is really like. Needless to say, I've lost my lunch a few times, and so have the new guys. It's almost like a rite of passage now.
Yeah, that reminds me of my meatloaf story.
Oh yeah. I do remember.
Yeah, you have to like. There's so many freaking mice and shit in there. They just created like a loaf of compressed mouse.
Yes,
you had to like beat. You go over to the dumpster and you're like banging on the side of it, trying to say, common sense would tell you just to take that thing and throw it in the dumpster. But no, you're going to try to save that tin cat. You're going to bring that shit under. It's just like thunk. It's like one
oh, loaf. It's like what they give you in jail. Loaf.
Nutriloaf. Yeah. Fucking Nutriloaf. So yeah, and speaking of replacing fluids, Jack, I'm going to do the same thing and
get your mouth a little moist.
I'm out, man. Damn it. It was. That's one of the good parts about these. Sometimes it gets so cold in these Tony Spangler tumblers that you create like a layer of ice, and then you think you're all done, and then all of a sudden your straw drops through it, and you got extra liquid there, and you're like, yeah, I don't have to get up the refrigerator right now.
I was about ready to do the 1950s commercial and go, hey, by the way there, friend, is that a Tony Spangler tumbler that you have in your hand?
It sure is, buddy man. Yes, a Tony Spangler tumbler. Only from
Well,
SpanglerArt.com.
golly gee.
Yeah,
Golly gee willikers. That's quite a fantastic tumbler you have there.
Why, thank you, pal. Yes, the Tony Spangler tumbler is famous for being able to keep hot things hot and cold things especially cold. This beauty right here can keep an ice cube alive for at least 24 hours or maybe more. I have gone to bed and woken up and I have still had ice to take care of my hangover.
I did too.
You know, but sometimes you get up, you're dehydrated, you're hungover, you've shot all your fluids out of your dick. Yeah, for the night. Yeah, Tony Spangler tumblers, man. And if you can think it, he can make it. The designs here are beautiful. Jack, show him your wasp freeze. Again, you've seen it before. See, that's a fine looking can there too. And
yes,
as is this one, it has our beautiful logo right here, Tales from the Crawl Space, and of course PCHD on the bottom. And and the bottom is rubber, so we do like the rubber bottom.
Get a little rim job there, kind of. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go, baby.
And I'll tell you what, if there's anything better than a cool, refreshing beverage drank from a Tony Spangler tumbler, it's that refreshing, cleaned out feeling you'll get once you use the stainless steel, surgical grade, urethral sounding rod that comes with every Tony Spangler tumbler. I'm telling you what, this right here is worth the price. It's like, get the sounding rod, get a free tumbler. So Tony Spangler, SpanglerArt.com. We've talked about this guy ad nauseum, and we will continue to do so because the product is solid and just as solid as a clogged urethra. So
you take care of your thirst, take care of your penis.
That's right. You got to take care of your penis and your thirst because those two are definitely related. Because what goes in must come out. And when I say must come out, I mean it must come out. So
yes, it must.
Absolutely. So check out SpanglerArt.com. They've got a wide variety of not just tumblers, but other drinking vessels and probably a few other things. So it's worth the cruise to SpanglerArt.com.
By the way, Tony Spangler's lovely wife handles a lot of the bling bling and more feminine and other lighthearted designs. So you've got the best of both worlds and fantastic products for sure.
We know it's Tony. We know it's
like
Tony
and his little Hello Kitty collection.
That's right. Yeah, and Tony and his waifu series. Also, I speaking of Tony Spangler, and he's not just famous for his tumblers and his crafty life. He did our graphics this week.
Yes, he did. He most certainly did.
I was having a week, man. My tooth was killing me. The creative juices weren't flowing. I was like, Tony, can you help me out? He goes, I got you, Brad. And come up with a banging ass graphic for our website for this week's episode. And,
yes, he did.
So yeah,
awesome.
I can't thank you enough, Tony.
Thank you, Tony. We love you.
Yep, absolutely.
I did a post, I guess, beginning of the week, 4 days ago, actually. Facebook told me 4 days ago, asking for stories for this week. And holy shit. The floodgates opened. But one of our, I'm going to go with initials because some people said I could. Some people probably didn't see when I posted if I could use their names or not. So I'm going to go with initials.
Okay.
EV said, do patels count as an infestation? What do you think? Do patels count as an infestation?
No, I wouldn't say they count as an infestation. I'd say that sometimes they are a root cause of infestations. Sometimes they tend to over-exaggerate an infestation. They make infestations out of everything. We have too many rachas.
Have you got this spray the medicine?
I don't know if I would consider them an infestation.
Fair enough. All right. So I'll do I'll spit it out and you give me your color commentary. ML said, poor elderly guy used to service, lived in a studio apartment in placed housing, no home care assistance, and untreated diabetes with open sores on his feet. The sweetest man, honestly. Terrible bed bugs and cockroaches infesting every nook and cranny of this place. Flies, horrid, and bald-faced hornet's nest out his window of the 8th story. I still think about him from time to time.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of like the kids. Be honest with you, you get to a point in your life where you can't take care of stuff, and so there you don't have the support of people taking care of you. That's what happens, and it's nah. Those are the ones that really tug on my heartstrings.
Yeah, and this, you familiar with the band Porno for Pyros? Are you familiar with them?
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Okay, they had a song called "Pets," and the first line starts out: "Children are innocent, teenagers are fucked up in the head, adults are even more fucked up, and elderly are like children."
Yeah.
So it's you have to look after them just like you do the kids, and I think a transgression against them, keeping a filthy place or something like that, is just as reprehensible.
That's right. Absolutely. Without question. Yeah. These are the stories that are hard to read, man.
They are.
They're hard to hear, too. And
they are. RM says, my first day on the job, I had to go and do a roach job for the State Department of Health. The story I'd been told was that it was a term of this woman's agreement with children. Here we go with kids again. And he and youth services to have her house treated for roaches and then to maintain a roach-free home. I went there and it was roach wallpaper, which is incredibly uncommon in my area, rural and cold. Basically, you have to try to get roaches where I'm from, as it's incredibly rural and people tend not to be too dirty. When I walked in, the first thing I noticed was the smell. It smelled like every last sip of a beer from every frat party for an entire year was left out in the hot car. As I walked back out to the truck to put on my Tyvek and respirator for the first time, I remember thinking how bad the actual rooms and living areas will be, as I didn't go any farther than the entrance. As I walked back up the stairs, the woman made sure to instruct me not to spray near her new $5,000 television. She also asked me how long she would have to be outside, to which I responded 4 to 5 hours, depending on how much product I use. When I went back into the house and began inspecting, I found multiple holes punched in almost every room, and inside the holes, Miller Lite cans and Mountain Dew bottles. Filled the walls from the side and floor all the way down. The roaches were living inside the beer cans and were almost impervious to any kind of spray. I opened up a cabinet at one point and an avalanche of half roaches, half Miller Lite cans fell out all over the floor, and it looked like a horror movie the way it was scattered. I ended up doing a bit of fogging with the knockdown spray and Alpine with IGR. Lastly, I baited the majority of the home with 4 tubes of Vendetta and began to leave. The woman said, "Oh, wait, you have one on you," and picked off the single largest cockroach I've ever seen in my life off the back of my neck.
Yeah.
I also found multiple squished ones inside my boots that night. The next day, I get a call from my manager telling me that the woman thought I was incredibly rude and that I didn't treat the home. Luckily, I kept great notes and she signed for the service. However, if she claimed that me telling her she needed to clean up her home was not professional, the saddest part of the whole story was that the only room in the entire house that was clean and had minimal roaches was the little girl's room. It appeared to me like she would put duct tape around her door every day when she left, and she would leave out of a window rather than open the door and let the filth in. I wasn't able to go back to the service as she kept calling the office and saying she wouldn't let me back inside of her house. However, one of our other guys did, and as far as I know, she never did any additional cleaning, and the issue still persists. Sometimes I think about that and remember how not every parent deserves a child.
No, they don't. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
good Lord.
Don't
get
it
around
man.
My new $5,000 TV. Fuck you.
Fuck you and your TV.
$5,000 TV.
Right.
It's like, that's like, and $5,000, and how much is that in penises?
I tell you, she was like Sam the Butcher was bringing Alice the meat. That's what was happening.
Yeah, absolutely. That's ridiculous. It makes me want to puke.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you got some off your post? You want me to keep going?
I do.
Go on with it, man.
Yeah. I got to a 1-bedroom apartment way back when I first started in pest control to do a bed bug inspection. They were everywhere. The popcorn ceiling had hundreds of spider webs with tons of bed bugs captured in the webs. And
Oh, wow.
those spiders were up there like rubbing their bellies, going, "Oh God,
Yeah.
oh man, that was a good dinner I got."
Woo.
It was like, yeah, doing that. Yeah, doing that. Woo! It was like undoing their little spider pants. It's like, God damn, I couldn't eat another fucking thing. Oh, save me a piece of that cockroach over there, darling. Oh, Jesus, man. Yeah, those spiders. So needless to say, the spiders were very well satisfied.
Yes.
Look like, as it goes on, looks like someone took a 6-inch paint roller and painted the border of the whole apartment floor with bed bugs.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
They were in kitchen cabinets, the medicine cabinet. I couldn't tell you what color his bare mattress was originally. It was every color of red in the rainbow and resembled the oil spot you see on the ground if a car has been leaking, but not only all red. After I finished looking over the joint, the dude says, "Yes, I know I have bed bugs, but it's not that bad." As he's saying this, he's flicked some bed bug out of, shit you not, his 12-inch Mario mustache.
Oh my God.
In my utter amazement, all I could say is, dude, whatever drugs you're on has to be the good stuff. Okay, this was a post on the depot, right? So it got a reply from Paula herself, Paula Benedict, the one and only beloved first lady of Pest Control Humor Depot, who goes, "Tell me you took in that job and won." He replies, "Nah, I was just there for an inspection. I was working for a small company and was just out of training for barely a month in my own truck. I found out a month later that jabroni got evicted." It's not often you hear the term jabroni to describe a jabroni, but it's good to see. And all his left behind shit got thrown in the dumpster and lit on fire. One of my coworkers ended up doing the treatment.
Wow.
Oh my God. But you just think of them spiders, man. It's like, they were some happy motherfuckers.
It'd be like you and me sitting at, what was that prime rib place that we went to?
Oh, Bynum's.
And sitting there at Bynum's after a big old prime rib, just yeah.
I just drove past that place today.
Love that place.
And I drove past that place, and the memories came flooding back of that night that you and I ate the biggest fucking prime rib piece I've ever.
Oh, that was so fucking good, man.
God, it was like, it's like, no, actually, no. Jack went out for a smoke, and I went out with him, and we talked. We come back, and it was sitting at the bar, and we were just like, both of our jaws dropped at the same time. We're like, oh my God! And Jack, but to Jack's credit, he dusted that fucker off. I mean, what was he going to do with it? You did have a refrigerator in the hotel room.
I'm not going to leave that steak for later. Fuck, man. I totally got a chub walking back to the bar though when I saw that prime rib. I got turgid.
It was something else. Isn't that a great place? I mean, the bar.
So good.
Yeah, I mean, there's only like six or seven stools at the bar. It's really cozy. It's warm. It's got that mid 1970s steakhouse vibe.
Yeah, with a giant brandy snifter with the matchboxes by the door.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And then when you order your whiskey neat, they send it to you in a good size snifter as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just like, I feel so grown up. I'm almost 60 years old, and it's the first time I felt like a fucking grown up. Yeah.
That was so good, fucking good.
It was a really good time. But anyway, quick story. We're gonna try to get this together here at the place I work. I did a flea job today, and this flea job was an exterior flea job on probably about 7 or 8 acres, right? And I'm just doing part one. There's the building, and this is a dog groomers. It used to be a boarding. It's a boarding place, dog boarding and stuff. There's the building, and then on one side of the building is this humongous field, right? Grass. They've got some of it fenced up for the dogs to run and frolic and do dog stuff. And the rest of it's just open field. It's all grass. I had to spray all of that for fleas, right? And they're paying good money for this. On the other side of it was a wooded area, and to my credit, I didn't have fleas jumping on me or everything. It wasn't a bad, it's not an infestation story. This is just something I wanted to get out there. But on the other side was more of a wooded area. And so I was, and it was wooded to where I could go through there. The trees had been cleared out, the trunks had been cleared off, so it was evergreens and stuff. So I was in there treating. I'm looking down and I see these little things. I thought they were first they were stepping stones, and then I looked down. I saw writing on one, and I wiped it. I was wiping the stone off, and it was a pet's name with date of birth, date of passing. And then I came across another one and another one, and another. Jack, this was an old abandoned pet cemetery from like the 1960s, 1970s.
Oh wow!
And it's just like it had been forgotten, and I was getting kind of moved by it, and so I went back in after I got done, and I told her, I said when we walked this place first, I didn't know that there was a pet cemetery over there. She goes, yeah. She goes, it's not used anymore. You got to have licenses and stuff like that for it. She goes, the previous owners didn't leave us any records or anything, so we don't know whose pets what and whose pets whose and so on. And she goes, and she, I said there's a lot of broken hearts out there. And she goes, yeah, it's true. She goes, I have a picture of from like the 1960s of somebody having a little, the 70s having a little ceremony for their dogs. She goes, we've been here 38 years. And she goes, and when we first got here, a few people would come by and they would, visit their gravesite for their dogs and stuff. She goes, now nobody comes. And I started getting a little misty there, after I heard that. So I was like, damn it. So I'm going to go. So I went back to the office and I was talking to William the Merciful. And I asked him, I said, let's do something. Let's get with her and see if she's okay with this. And, all of us go over there during the fall, say on a Saturday or something. And we just work on those grave sites, just getting them. I said, they're not big. I mean, the biggest one's probably about like this.
Right,
And,
right.
just getting them up out of the ground, cleaning them off. We could take I got a power washer. It's close enough to the building. We can run hose and extension cord, get these things cleaned up, bring them out of the ground. I got, bring a few bags of sand so we could put some stuff under them to stay them out and just kind of tidy the place up a little bit. I said, it's just, I said, it'd do good for my heart. I said, it'd do good for your heart because William the Merciful is a big time animal lover.
Right,
and,
right.
So he is like 100% on board with that. So I'm
awesome.
hoping if I get a hold of the lady, she's okay with us doing that. Because I just thought that was so sad, and it's like I want somebody to remember these pets. To some people they're just animals, but they're family.
I'd love to see a before and after picture when you guys do that. That'd be great.
Oh, you got it, Jack. And I'd also love it if maybe like we could get like the local, because like the Southside newspapers or the circulars. I don't know if they still do that shit, but maybe somebody would remember. Oh, that was my grandma's dog or something like that, and maybe kind of help reconnect them with the past. If not the pet, the person whose pet it was.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
So, I think, okay. All right. I'm done being wholesome.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Okay, Mr. Self-Improvement during the podcast. Yeah, I was getting wholesome. Oh, man.
So many things I could say to that about getting holes.
Holes.
What were you saying?
No, I didn't say getting some holes. I said getting wholesome.
All of them. All of them.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I got another one, and it's like, okay, got infestation story with a happy ending, and no, not that kind of happy ending. Of course, we always have to preface that when we're talking with Jack. I had a customer.
I was going to say too long didn't read. Too
long didn't read. Happy ending. I had a customer a few years ago that had one of the worst bed bug infestations I've ever seen. He had limited mobility and was confined to his motorized wheelchair or his recliner. He'd already used another pest control company in the past that took his money and ran. The day I showed up, they were all over both of his motorized wheelchairs, recliner, and bed. Seeing as he was confined to one of these 3 places at home, he had nowhere else to go, so it was up to me to take care of the problem and take care of it quick. It took me exactly a month to eradicate them completely because I had failed to notice where the wall met the floor. There was the tiniest of gaps, no baseboards, and they were coming and going through it. I had went on vacation at the end of the month, so our inspector had went out on a follow-up and pretty much tore up this house trying to find any sign of bed bugs. Again, because the man was wheelchair bound, wanted to make sure we wouldn't have to deal with him anymore. My inspector called me while I was on vacation, let me know he didn't find any more, and the man was singing my praises and told him that under no circumstances did he want anyone else but me to treat his house anymore. So,
Yep.
good job. Good job. Oh, man.
I had some short ones that come up. One of them, I'm going to say
Lightning round.
CG. I'm not going to say yours because you mentioned a specific location. And I don't know if that's going to get you or somebody else or the company in trouble. So I'm going to have to skip yours, CG. I'm sorry, but I wanted to read it. It's not bad, but I don't want to get him in trouble. No names.
No names.
Right. MB had a short one. Said a couple that lived in an apartment had dementia and kept forgetting they had a bed bug issue. One of the worst I've seen. They also hoarded toilet paper, and they were in the rolls between the sheets of toilet paper. Can you imagine wiping your ass with a live bed bug?
Oh, man. It would tickle.
Right, right up on the donut.
That? Yeah, that's
right. JS, not me. JS, one of my new guy's first days. First stop, large guy answers the door with nothing but a bikini leopard print underwear. I had to explain to the new guy why there was a money counting machine in the master closet and what all the magnets were for on the walls. The second stop, lady opens the door and asks if we were there to double team her. Then says she'll be in the shower if we need anything.
That kind of goes back to our last episode.
And yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And then he said, this guy's still with us 10 years later. So
nice.
Another quick one. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say about the guy in the leopard underwear. It's like, this must have been a while back, because that sounds exactly like maybe that's what got Russell into pest control.
Was he not making money dancing with his leopard underwear?
Apparently not. Not enough to feed the mouths he had to.
No,
so
no.
Pest control was the answer to that.
If he'd have dropped them drawers in the right club, he could have fed several mouths and made some money.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right. DL says, fleas. I work at a local university, was called to spray an apartment on campus for fleas. As soon as my partner and I opened the door, our legs were covered in them. We treated with Precor and told her to get the cat to the vet and get it on some meds, and we'd be back in a week. The lady had then decided that diatomaceous earth would solve her problems, and it looked like it was a frozen wonderland of filth when we came back. Everything was coated in diatomaceous earth, even her furniture. That apartment has been offline for 2 years now, as all the furniture and carpet needed to be replaced down to the subfloor. The cat didn't like a litter box and scratched holes in the cheap doors and in the drywall. We checked on it last week, and it still smells.
Diatomaceous earth is the bane of my existence.
Agreed.
Like every time I come in, I was like, okay, bed bug. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to push apprehend on them. And then I walk in, and it's just like, shafts of light, coming in from the window because diatomaceous earth dust in the air. The white thing. I get on my knees to inspect. I come back, my knees are white. I'm having trouble breathing, and I'm trying to explain. I had one house. I said, "This is what we can do for you, but this dust has got to go because I'm not coming back in." So it's like, okay, we'll get it cleaned. I said, you give me a call when you're all prepped. Give us a call when you're all prepped, and we'll get you on the schedule. And we'll get it taken care of. 2 days later, they call back. I'm like, there's no fucking way they are ready, right? So, and you know what? I didn't say anything because I'm just like, all right, it's on the schedule.
You just want to see, right?
I'm just going to do my thing, right? So I get a block from it, from the account. Alexis at the office calls me and says, Brad, so-and-so just called. They don't think they're ready, and they're going to want to reschedule. I said, okay, you're probably right, but I'm about a block away. I'm going anyway. So I want to see this place. And sure enough, for 2 days worth of work, they didn't do bad. But the problem was that there was still diatomaceous earth everywhere. Oh, we mopped a lot of it up. Yeah, it was all smeared up or smudged around the floor.
God.
And I'm just like, and I'm having, breathing problems and shit. And so I said, can you have this place ready by Tuesday? This was Friday. And she goes, sure. Okay. Now, granted, the lady that lives here there only has one leg, and she got a boyfriend that's living there with her, and he just sits around and he works on his motorcycles. He's like one of the Brady kids, that
Oh,
do.
oh, oh! Is her name Eileen? Is her name
Eileen?
Eileen?
No, her name is not Eileen.
I had to.
I know you did. I left it for you. No, she's an Asian woman. Her name was Irene.
Oh, it's
Anyway, but she goes so. And she goes, yeah, I can be ready by Thursday or by Tuesday. Tuesday. I said, all right. So then I get home and I get a call. She calls me on the cell phone. We're not gonna be able done by Tuesday. It needs to be done. I gotta wait till Thursday. So I'm sitting here thinking like, and then my manager gears start swirling, right? I was like, God damn it. Okay. It's going to be on a different paycheck now if she goes from Tuesday to Thursday, right? My commission is going to be, I'm going to have to wait for my commission a week for this. And then I was like, okay, I could financially absorb that. I said, and besides, it's going to go from a July stop to an August stop. Now, we went gangbusters in July, right? Our moose is already in the freezer for July.
Right, right.
We blew numbers out, right? So now this high dollar service now becomes an August revenue. So it's like we get a good start on August now instead of making a already blown out number even more blown out. We get a good chunk of money to start to kind of
get your foot in the door, right?
August,
Hell
right?
yeah.
Yeah. That is strategic planning right there. So I was like, I said, you know what, ma'am? I ain't even mad. Yeah. And I'm explaining this to William the Merciful. He's just kind of looking at me like, okay, yeah, but yeah.
I gotta tell you, I think we're gonna need to do a part 2 of this show because I've got a fuck ton still left on this.
You
post.
Still got more?
I mean, it was like I was scrolling just to get to the bottom of the list. So we're gonna have to do a part 2 just to.
Okay.
It's gonna have to happen.
Absolutely, we could definitely do that. Do you want to do it during the next show, or do you want to maybe kick it up? Because we've got a good idea for another show. Do you want to blow that out and then do it, or
let's do the show we talked about as our next show, which is going to be the week after this one coming up. We're going to take a Friday off, but yeah, we got a special show for you. You want to tell them about it?
Yeah, sure. Okay, we all had the one show that we know and love, the one episode called "You Can Suck It." Okay, so we told a lot of people can suck it, but now it's been a little while. It's dried. The thing that has been sucked is dried off. So I think it's time to get it hot to it and wet again. So we're going with the next show is "You Can Suck It Again." So
that's right.
Yeah, we're gonna be hitting you guys up for some more "You Can Suck It" stories, so they can suck it again. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you got. I know I probably got one or two up my sleeve myself. I'm sure this bearded wonder over here has got some too. So, yeah, you thought you could suck it once. No, you can suck it again. So, 2 weeks from now, that's gonna be over. We're gonna take another break next week.
They will all be anonymous. Nothing will be mentioned. No names will be mentioned. If you put someone else's name in the story, that will be substituted for a different name, so your anonymity is secure.
That's right.
Throw some insults at the end about this person, whoever it is. But if you can't, we can always fuck them up for you. But I love to see everybody's creativity, so throw your insults in at the end.
Yep. So, Now, 2 weeks from now, you can suck it again.
That's right. And then we'll come back to part 2 of Holy Shit after that.
Yeah. Part 2 of Holy Shit will hit then. We're after that. We've got a lot of exciting things going on. October 5th is going to be Randy's game night, and my good buddy Jack is going to be rolling back into the.
Yes, I will.
The beautiful and incredibly boring state of Indiana for an evening of games, food, and fun, and fellowship. Not fellatio-ship. Not fellatio-ship.
What?
I know. Well, you're not gonna get it from me. So yeah, that's that part of it. You're on your own.
You'd have to shave first, baby.
I might be able to make a few recommendations, but I might have to shave, huh? Oh, you don't like the stubbly. You don't like the stubbly. You don't like the stubbly middle-aged Slavic woman look, huh?
I got was it the East German woman shot put team look?
Mm-hmm. Or before the Albanian boxing team looked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That one that almost dick smacked that poor Italian boxer.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
I will break you. Like I'm Ivan Drago from
Ivan
Rocky.
Drago, I must
I will
break you.
break you.
Adrian. Yeah, I mean shit. Okay, that lady had a stash thicker than Frank Zappa's.
Good Lord. Okay, we got a couple minutes here. So AB said, not an infestation story, but this happened today. I had a little bit of Termidor in my tank that I forgot to disperse of before the weekend, which sat in my tank all weekend. And when I took my lunch break, I went through a Dunkin' Donuts, and apparently the guy smelled the sulfur and the rotten eggs, the smell of Termidor that was left in the tank, and thought it was marijuana and reported me to my office. But I don't even smoke or dip or vapor any of that, which is hilarious.
I love
I tell you,
trying to get a nun in trouble.
That Termidor does stink, man. I mean, we got a whole case of it. When I was running Residex, which is now Target Specialty, we got an entire case of the 78-ounce bottles. And, man, stunk through the plastic. Those bottles were sealed and it still stunk. God.
Yeah, it sits in water for a while. But the thing is, it smells nothing like weed. I don't know where that came from.
Smelled like nasty butthole.
It's rotten eggs. It's like rotten eggs with rotten onions.
Yeah.
It smells like that de-icing, that wing de-icing stuff that they use at the airport.
I've never smelled that.
Oh my God, I used to smell it all the fucking time back when I was at Big Green Tea, and we used to do airplanes. Of course, we don't do that now thanks to 9/11. But we would do Delta. We did 8 American Transair, which is no longer around. United, we did planes for them, and if you went out on the tarmac to go get a plane that had just came in and had an issue or whatever, and they were de-icing the wings before they were taking the other ones off, it smelled like rotten egg and onions. And,
well, I've been to houses that have sulfur water. Like the water just has a natural sulfur smell to it. Yeah. And I went to use their bathroom and I sat down with the toilet. I'm like, dude, I haven't even shit yet. Why am I smelling this? Because I thought it was, but then I took a nice healthy metformin and no gallbladder dump in that toilet water, and that's what what Termidor smells like. Okay. That spoiled. Oh, but it's not spoiled or just tainted Termidor. Would you call it tainted? That's what it smells like to me.
I think it's just past its prime. It's Termidor that's jumped the shark that smells like that.
I've seen people that have been past their prime that smell pretty bad. So I'm one of them.
Yeah. Good. Sorry, I'm staring out the window looking at my new work truck.
I saw that thing's gorgeous, man. I love that color.
It's gonna look even better once it gets decals on it. But, that is a 20. That's a 2021 Colorado, and it's got 15,000 miles on it, and it was painted the exact shade of blue that all the other trucks. He buys trucks, he gets them wrapped, and then get decals on them. He's not going to have to wrap this one. It's just going to be able to have the decals on. It's going to save him close to $4,000. On getting it ready and logoed. So I mean it's beautiful. There's not a blemish on it. The only drawback to it is it's a coupe. It doesn't have club doors, but you know what? I can adapt. Because I've got that 94 Dakota, that Dodge Dakota I got my home whip. It's a coupe. I mean, it's got no club doors, and I do just fine with that. Just tooling around.
Yeah,
it's a matter of doing things different.
Nice pick, Mr. the Merciful. Very nice pick.
It is. That one fell in his lap, man. It's like it was even fairly close by, and the same color. That truck's going to be around for years, and because if there's one thing that William the Merciful does is keep his truck for years.
Well, I tell you take care of them, you can.
Yeah, I mean, we've got one. The one I'm driving right now has 175,000 miles on it. Runs like a top. I mean, God, it's uglier than Hitler's sister, but it still runs like a top. And we've got another one that's got close to 190,000. And both of those have been hauling termite rigs for years.
Wow.
All the way down the road, miles and stuff, and we're still getting some time out of them. So the really old one is going to be the dedicated termite truck.
Right.
We're not gonna have any type of power sprayer or anything in the back of this one, and I'll be able to haul ass without a termite rig. And if I get a termite job, all I got to do is just to hop in the termite truck and go take care of it.
Right. Well, here's a PSA for you guys out there. If you get broke down on the side of the road and you can't get your route done and you get pissed off, the only person you have to blame is yourself. That's your vehicle. You're on the road. You're running the route. Sometimes you're beating like a running mule. Check the oil every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Kick your tires. Take a look. Because if that thing breaks down when it's been your truck consistently, the only person you have to blame is you.
That's right. When that check engine comes on, fuck's sake, check it.
That's right. To go back to the shop, say, I need this looked at or whatever. Don't just keep on running it till the wheels fall off, because if you don't want your route getting backed up because you're sitting on the side of the road for 4 fucking hours because nobody can come get you, the only person you have to blame is yourself.
Yeah. Well, I could tell from looking down on the floor and looking at my buddy Max licking his penis. It's about time for us to close this up.
I tell you, I tried that. I kept falling off the fucking couch.
Yeah, I gave up. So I just hired it out. No. Well, anyway, once again, we're going to be off next week, and a week after that, you can suck it again.
I've said that many times in my life, and I probably will say it more. But boys and girls, we don't want you to forget keeping your heart for Candace out there. Glove up for Candace. If you go to our website, you can click the link at the top of the web page. Click that hashtag. It'll take you to the GoFundMe. I've made my donation yesterday. It's getting up there. She's gonna need all the help she can get, man. She's in a bad way, and she is family. She's part of the Cheesebag family. She's been a mod at a Pest Control Humor Depot, our favorite group.
She's been the safety director.
Yes, keep her in your heart, keep her in your mind, and if you happen to have a couple bucks, you can throw her away. I don't care if it's $1, $1. I don't care.
Okay.
If you're able to do it, just something, please help her out. I sincerely appreciate it. I know Brad appreciates it. The Mod Squad appreciates it. Tales from the Crawl Space definitely appreciates it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but thanks to everybody that has chipped in and given. We really appreciate it, and thank everybody who's just lit a candle in their heart for Candace. If that's the only thing you can do, we appreciate that as well, because she definitely needs both of those things.
Yes, she does. So on behalf of the Pest Control Humor Depot, our favorite group, Brad Harvey and myself, we ask you all to glove up for Candace.
Glove up.